Hi, I'm Scott Humphrey, CEO of the World Floor Covering Association, and this is Leadership Live. And yes, the setting is different this week because I'm persevering through my third case of COVID. Thankful to have a little bit of voice back. I apologize in advance if my voice gives out. But it did give me the opportunity to settle on our word for this week. We're our second week with the letter P, and the word is perseverance. Here's what it means: persistence in doing something despite difficulty or delay in achieving success. Persistence in doing something despite difficulty or delay in achieving success. And I like the first word of that definition so much, I want to give it to you. The word is persistence, and that definition says firm or obstinate continuance in a course of action despite difficulty or opposition. See, I know many leaders who think the key to success is avoiding challenges. And obviously, if you can avoid failure, we want you to do so. But it's not realistic to assume that you'll always be able to do that. We all face challenges, and when we face them, we respond in one of three ways. We either run from the challenge, we shut down in the midst of the challenge, or we persevere through the challenge. And when you persevere through the challenge, you learn things that change the way you lead from that point forward. They make you better as a father, as a friend, as a mother, as a cousin, as a family member, as a church member, community leader, and certainly in the field of business. Martin Luther King said it this way: we can overcome, despite adversity, the trend toward mediocrity and the temptation to rationalize our weakness. You simply cannot keep a good person down. And you can't, because they persevere. Many of the great leaders have overcome something in their life, and that is what made them great. Let me give you some examples. If you cripple him, you have Sir Walter Scott. If you bury him in snow in Valley Forge, you have George Washington. If you strike him down with polio, you have FDR. If you burn him so badly that they say he'll never walk again, you have Glenn Cunningham, who set the world record in the mile in 1934. If you deafen him, you have Beethoven. If you have them born into a racially, really divisive society, but they're black, you have Booker T. Washington. You have Marian Anderson. You have George Washington Carver. And one of my favorite leaders of all time, you have Martin Luther King. If you call him a slow learner, you have Einstein. If you have him born to a father who thinks he'll never be able to hold down a job, you have Winston Churchill. And if you have him born to a father who considers him a dunce, you have Thomas Edison. Listen, it's been said that the only mile that really matters is the next one. But in order to get through the next mile, you have to persevere. You cannot stop where you are, and you will have challenges along the way. The question is, do you see those challenges as roadblocks, or do you see them as speed bumps and simply obstacles to persevere through? Walter Payton, sweetness, one of the greatest running backs of all time. And one night on Monday Night Football, it was noted by one of the announcers that he had run a cumulative 9 miles in his career. That's right, if you combined all of his rushes, he had run 9 miles. But shortly after that, one of the other announcers noted, yes, he's run 9 miles. And that's with getting knocked down every 4.6 yards. That's right, he only rushed an average of 4.6 yards per carry. But he accumulated 9 miles. Why? Because every time he got knocked down, he went back to the huddle and lined up to do it again. He did not stop. Listen, one of the greatest running backs of all time, even the greatest, get knocked down. The question is not whether you'll get knocked down. The question is, will you persevere? Will you persist? Will you focus on the goal and set the example for those who look to you? Because that's what great leaders do. Now go out there and lead.